Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday morning devotions. I'm glad that you guys are here today. Sorry, I'm just fixing everything. It's always fun when you go live, then all the things change. But it's okay because I want to encourage you today. And actually, what I want to speak to you about today is something that I've been carrying in my spirit for a little while. Hello, Helen. And I wanted to try and put words to something that I feel in my heart and in my spirit that I want to encourage you with. And I'm praying that it will make sense and that the words would put expression to what's in my spirit, because sometimes that's not always that easy. But there's been words that have been just turning around in my heart, and in the climate of the world and what's going on in the world, I wanted to just speak that into as a reminder and also as a place of God. I just feel like God's wrapping his arms around us and pulling him closer to what's true and what's important. And so I want to, first of all, just talk to you about a devotion actually that I read many, many years ago. And yesterday I was in a prayer meeting, and as we were praying, I was reminded of this. And hello, Crystal. And I was reminded of this devotion, and it's actually about C.S. Lewis. And so just a bit of a background, I want to give you a context. So C.S. Lewis is an author that wrote many stories, but the one that he's most known for is Narnia, the Chronicles of Narnia and Screwtape Letters and those things. But C.S. Lewis only got saved when he was 32 years old. And I just want to read a few things to put you in context. So he's already been established as a well-known author. He was known for his love of books and writing and creativity. But when he got saved, he didn't abandon his work as an author, but it caused him to reimagine his work as a service to God. Then he posed this question that in a conversation, he said, the question is not whether we should bring God into the dedication of what we're doing, but actually we should also make our profession and also make his service our actual job. So it's not only that our job gives him glory, but it's that giving him glory becomes our actual job, right? Are you following me? And then Lewis's faith also didn't change his work. It changed his relation to his work. I'm going somewhere with this, guys. And then let me just carry on reading my notes. He speaks about allowing the lordship of Christ to impact your motivations for whatever you do. So this is C.S. Lewis, who you might know, you might not know him, but he writes this story called Narnia. And he gets to a point where he says, so he gets saved at 32. And in the interview, they say to him, how did you write your stories? He says there's this idea that he would lock himself in a room and wait for the creativity flow, and then he would write from that place. He said, but actually, that's the furthest thing from truth. When he was 16, he actually had a picture. Everything that we read today in the Chronicles of Narnia and what flowed out of that place started with a picture. He had a picture of a fawn holding an umbrella and carrying parcels in a snowy forest. That's all he had. When he got saved at 32, his work was reimagined. But at 40, he sat down. When he was 40 years of age, he sat down and he thought, what should I do with this picture? And he started writing the story that we now know as Narnia. He says, and it didn't make much sense. Nothing about what he was writing was actually making sense. And he also said he never sat down to think, I should write a story that children would love and children would buy into. He never did that. He said, but this is the part that changed everything for him. He says when Aslan comes bounding into it, once he was there, he pulled the whole story together. Now, guys, if you don't know what the story is, it's about the redemptive power of a mighty roaring lion who sacrificially sacrifices his life so that people would be saved. And so this is the God. He says nothing made sense. And Aslan, the lion, the mighty roaring lion, comes bounding into the story. That's when the whole story made sense and pulled it all together. Now, I want to speak that over your life and over my life and over the situation that we're in at the moment. is that maybe you're looking at your life and there's a picture of what you're seeing, your circumstances, and there's an idea of what you think it should look like or what you hoped it would look like, and you're not too sure where it should go from there. And I really felt that I just wanted to remind you of the fierceness of God. And I want to take it from the position of sometimes, we apologize and we try and make him gentle Jesus, amazing God who loves you, who's your friend, who he is. But what I want to remind you as well is that he is a mighty, roaring lion who comes bounding in, that shatters atmospheres and situations and breaks through death itself. All the friends joining us, and that is the God we serve. So in your circumstances today, if you're looking at it and you're seeing a picture and it's not making sense, you need to allow the God of creation to be as fierce as a lion. Do you know there's situations where we think, okay, we want the comfort, we want the sort of gathering, we want the sort of nice side of it, and we forget about the fact that actually God is more than just the nice side of things. He is an incredible, mighty lion roaring. And I feel like there's a call to the church to remember that he is bounding into your situation. He doesn't hold back. He doesn't wait until it's over. He breaks through in those moments where you think that is the end. And if you don't know the story, there's just this picture of this lion that comes just crashing in and overtakes everything that the enemy thought he would establish over our lives and over your situation. And I wanted to remind you that the God we serve is a fierce God. And we should never, ever apologize for the things that he has put forward for us and say, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be harsh, because I'm telling you what, when you're in a situation and you need God to push up with his full fierceness, then we won't apologize for the jealousy that he burns for his children, with the fire in his eyes that he's passionate about his creation and his church. Then we want the full weight of his fierceness breaking into our situations. And so never should we only reserve that for a small part of our lives, but actually for something that we serve him with that reverence, knowing that when he comes in the fullness of who he is. And I feel like there is a call for the church to come back to that place that when we worship him, we worship the mighty one with fire in his eyes that comes bounding in, that overcomes death and destruction and sickness and breaks even the power of death over our lives. And we've got to come back to that place, guys, because that is the God who holds you, who died for you, who is praying for you, who is fighting for you, who would break through into your situation so that you can step into everything that he has for you. He is a fierce and mighty lion. And I want to finish with this scripture just today, just to encourage you this morning that this is the God that is waiting to just bring your story together. It says in Psalm 97, let the Lord reigns, let the earth rejoice and be glad, let the distant shores rejoice. Clouds and thick darkness surround him. Righteousness and justice are the foundation of his throne. Fire goes before him and consumes his foes on every side. This is the God that is fighting for you. His lightning lights up the world, and the earth sees and trembles. The mountains melt like wax before the Lord of all the earth. The heavens proclaim his righteousness, and all the people see his glory. All who worship images are put to shame, but those who boast in idols, and those who boast in idols, worship him, all you gods. Zion hears and rejoices, and the villages of Judah are glad because of your judgments, Lord. For you, Lord, are most high over all the earth. You are exalted far above all gods. Let those who love the Lord hate evil, for he guards the life of his faithful ones, and he delivers them from the hand of the wicked. Light shines on the righteous, and joy on the upright in heart. Rejoice in the Lord, you who are righteous, and praise his holy name. And so I just want to speak that over you today, that there is a God who is mighty and strong and fierce and burns with passion for you, for his church, for what he wants to establish. And no matter what the world is looking like right now or trying to put on you, he will come bounding into your situation with the fullness of who he is. And so I pray that over you today. I pray that you would be blessed and encouraged and reminded that he holds nothing back, but there is victory when we're in Jesus. And so I love you, and I will see you next time. Have a good week, guys. Bye.